Hey guys. um, by now, I'm sure that everyone is probably well aware of what's took place in the past 5 days. It's been well discussed on YouTube, and it's been well discussed on the media, and I'm sure there's people out there who have been wanting to just criticize this individual for his life. And I think there's a lot of people that have been greatly affected by this individual's death. If anyone really doesn't know what's going on, then you must be like living in a cocoon or something. And I'm not trying to be judgmental either, but it's pretty well obvious. But to those of you that haven't really heard, 50-year-old, that's right, 50-year-old musician and Grammy Award-winning, musician, Michael Jackson, unfortunately passed away this past Thursday at about 5:30 or between 12:30 and 5:30. Overdosed, and according to the tabs, like I should really believe the tabs, he was drugged about an hour before he died, from according to TMZ.com, and he in fact did pass away. My reason for coming on board is not to, share sympathy too much. I want to first acknowledge how he's impacted my life, and then I want to share a rather deeper lesson that I've learned and I've been really reminded of, and I hope that what I'm going to share with all of you is encouraging enough to all of you during this grieving time for you to say, I want that. I want this much better than that. And I'll explain what that is before time runs out. But first of all, obviously, every one of you, I'm sure, that's a Michael Jackson fan knows the amazing Thriller album that hit the charts back in '83. And I'm sure you're well aware that the Thriller video was the main reason MTV came out with music videos in the first place. There's no doubt in my mind that MJ, I'm referring to as MJ, was no doubt an incredible musician with a lot of songs that pretty much express feelings and emotion and passion and heart. I mean, his music career is all about heart, and no doubt many of his songs touched me, and it has made me, and it's helped shaped in my mind truly just the fact of knowing this world needs to be a better place in so many ways. I mean, he wrote a song called "Heal the World." He writes about a song about just how to make the world a better place and how people are dying and how there's a lot of suffering people just around the world minute by minute. He couldn't be more dead on about that because it even happens right now in this particular time. So I mean, that kind of song won't be forgotten, and like many, I echo every single one of his fans that share his music deeply and have been impacted by his music. He's definitely also well known as when he was even younger. He was the leader of the Jackson 5 and pretty much rocked the charts with some Motown style music, which is incredible to think that he started all the way back in the early 60s and just came all the way to this point. I mean, and then knowing that he was actually going to do an anniversary release of Thriller this year. I mean, and I'm a musician myself, and I don't think even with all my pursuits put together, I don't think we could really top that off. I mean, at all. So that's my acknowledgement of the dear musician. I want to share, however, another point that I don't think many people is aware about, and it's the issue. It's about living life as we know it. Okay. Yes, Michael Jackson had an endearing career, but unfortunately, he had a life that was not so much of the Christian faith. Unfortunately, those of you that know about Jehovah's Witnesses, their theology isn't exactly intact with Christian theology. Unfortunately, what did you do with Jesus? Now, whether our brother Michael believes he did or not, it's not really for me to quite honestly say, but there's been reports that he followed the Jehovah's Witnesses faith. And those of you that are deep Christians know that if you follow any other religion, then it's going to take you right into the flames of hell. So if that's the case, then we know that he's gone and he's there, and unfortunately, we won't be able to see him in heaven when when we all die and go there. And that's how God looks at all this. His take is, I don't really care about your career. I don't really care about the $1 billion you made in selling your albums. It boils down to, like, what did you do with Jesus? And that's really it. And when I think of how Michael Jackson lost his life, it makes me realize that, and it reminds me that this whole life is nothing really but a vapor. I mean, no matter how great it is, it's gonna ultimately it's gonna fade, and all of our own interests and pursuits and passions and families and wives, all that isn't gonna really matter too much, except for what someone did with Jesus and how many people that person got saved. Now, look, I know there's probably like a dozen of you that are probably going to chew me out and probably even recommend that I get suspended from YouTube. Go right ahead and do it. But I'm not really interested in any comments that's not going to really support Michael Jackson and faith. Because if you're gonna be wasting your time with pointless comments, I just don't want them, and you're gonna get deleted. That's all there is to it. But I am interested in hearing how you folks agree or disagree with what I've said here. I mean, to me, if I ever wanted to live a career like Michael Jackson did, but then I had the option of choose between heaven and hell. Well, think about it. Heaven really is all that matters. And if I was going to be in his shoes and I'm not, then I want to use what he's done to literally change people, not just for worldly causes, but for spiritual causes. And I know there's a ton of musicians that are already doing that. God bless each and every one of you. But there's still many out there like Michael Jackson. They're just in it for the fame and for the glory and all that sort of thing. So I say again, not even Neverland is he's not gonna care about Neverland, which I think is amazing that he even had a carnival in his backyard. And all that sort of stuff. But I just wanted to share this this brief point here, and I welcome all of your comments. And pretty much our time's run out, but Michael Jackson certainly will be well remembered, and this is what I take from his death.